Welcome to the pod. You are listening to What the Reality with me, Cache Roberts. And I need to make sure my mic is plugged in. Wait, why am I just now? Okay, it's plugged in. Guys, I'm exhausted. It's been a nonstop work day, and it's just been a nonstop day. I've started my inside LVMH certification, which is basically like this coursework. Also, I got my nails done blue. Not really liking them. They're like navy blue, not royal blue. I'm not really liking them. Anyway, they'll be on for a month. It's Halloween week, but either way, I started my inside LVMH certificate is for luxury beauty, the luxury retail experience. I'm gonna be learning the luxury retail experience and creative branding, which is something I've really been wanting to divvy into luxury beauty sector. And I'm really excited, but I started that and like they release a whole new set of courses weekly, and like the final day to take the final exam is like December, I think it was like 19th. So I'm trying to stay on track so I don't fall behind, and I literally was this close to finishing my first course last week, and I totally forgot I had that going on. So when I'm done with this, I'm gonna log on and do that. But I just mean like I forgot to finish it yesterday, which I thought I was going to do, and it just slipped my mind. So now technically I've already fallen behind. And I'm like, great. This is just honestly great. Like it just sucks, but no, it's really insightful. So far right now it's just like an intro, but I'm really excited to be getting this certificate, and I'm really hoping like it helps with what I want to do and like figure out what I want to do. Because like yeah, I write, but I don't know if I want to write for the rest of my life. Like I don't know if I enjoy it that much, and I want to get well versed in other stuff, and I want my skills to transfer in other areas. And yeah, I just don't know if I want to write for the rest of my life. So I'm kind of having like a identity crisis, but not really, because I knew I didn't want to write forever, which is why I always got like my degree in media and English professional writing. But it's just difficult to like know what positions I'm looking for. And that's why I'm hoping like I'll learn some stuff with this inside LVMH thing. I have to pause this though really quick because my computer says it's plugged in, but it's really not plugged in. Like it's not glowing up green. So give me one moment. Okay, period. It's plugged in now because I'm like the light was not green for it to be plugged in. So yes, I have that going on. Welcome to Toxic Tuesday. Sorry, that was a lot. I want to talk about Netflix really quick because I'm going to start listening to my Netflix recommendations. I started Nobody Wants This, and I was intentionally waiting for a second season because I love to like binge, especially when it's like a 30-minute episode, not even 30 minutes, giving like this would be airing on like, ABC, like it's not even a full 30-minute show. It's like 26 minutes. This one episode is like 21 minutes. Like it's not that long. I need it to be longer, but like it does something. So I'm glad I waited for the second season to come out because now I've been binging it and it's been so good. Like I'm so glad I listened to this recommendation. Netflix actually said like we're 99% sure you would like this. They just know my heart. They know I'm a rom-com girly, and they know that I really feed off of the romance, the yada yada yada. And I've been eating it up. So I watched that on Netflix. I have like 3 more episodes left of the second season. I'm just gonna be so upset. Like I wish there was more seasons out because like I just never would have thought it's what it's about. Like I thought it was just a rom-com. I didn't It has all this other cultural stuff. Like it's really like a cultural take on like, Judaism and like the Jewish community, and it's so needed right now in the environment we're in and like the world that's so hateful right now. And it's about like these two people that are trying to make this relationship work, and you know the biggest test is religion and cultural, you know dynamics. And I think a lot of people like don't realize that's like a huge thing. And so yeah, and it's just so funny because I always knew Leighton Mester. Is it Leighton or Leslie? I think it's Leighton Mester, right? Gossip Girl. I don't know why I'm getting her. I think it's Leighton Mester. I always knew she was married to Adam Brody, but I never understood what he looked like. Like I could never place an image onto what he looks like. And so now that I'm seeing him, I'm like, okay, he kind of fine. Like, you know what I mean? He's kind of giving me, I'm not even gonna lie, like he's giving me like Pim Bagley. Um Pim Bagley or whatever. Like they kind of look similar. Maybe it's like the curly hair, but and then we have Kristen Bell in it, and the gag is Kristen Bell was the narrator for Gossip Girl. She was Gossip Girl. So now we have Adam Brody, Leighton Mester's slash Blair's man with actually Gossip Girl. So it's just so funny. I swear I just got like mascara in my eye. I didn't even put like much makeup on, but I swear I just got some mascara in my eye. Yes, I'm really enjoying that. I also watched My Oxford Year. I watched that on Friday. That was really good. And that was also another recommendation. And I just was like, oh my gosh, it's like a rom com. Wasn't expecting that. If you guys haven't watched My Oxford Year, and it's based on a true story, it's based on the book. I'm trying to see My Oxford Year. What's her one name? It's the one girl. I think it's Sophia Carson. Yes, she's gorgeous. Sophia Carson. She has like the most gorgeous hair. She's in it, and then Homeboy from Queen Charlotte's Story on Netflix is on there. I think that was a really good movie, and yeah, it's just so much more than a rom com. It's about and in like a literal autoimmune disease. Like it's about an illness, and it is actually a really good movie. Like I actually cried. I was crying for like the good last 30 minutes of it. It's a really good movie. So Netflix got that recommendation right. Okay. This movie was new on Netflix. I don't think it's new. So I was like, I'll watch it. But it was I Know What You Did Last Summer. And that's with Madeline Klein, who I also think is gorgeous. But I didn't think that movie was good, especially when I found out who the fisherman cooker was, or it wasn't good. And then we also have Ty Withers, who is from Him, that I do want to watch with Marlon Wayans. He's in that, and he's kind of a looker, but I didn't realize he was in that. I don't know how. I feel like I Know What You Did Last Summer is pretty new, but I don't know if it's new to Netflix or not, but it was in my recommendations. I wouldn't watch it again. Like I would watch My Oxford Year again. I'm probably gonna rewatch Nobody Wants This because I feel like I'm gonna have to rewatch the second season because I've been in and out of watching it. But it's really good. It has me like giddy. And then what else did I watch? I think that's what I watched this week. I'm really trying to like know what the people are watching so I know at these award shows so I can really be like, oh my gosh, I was rooting for you. So now I understand why Nobody Wants This is like an Emmy, is up for an Emmy or two. I'm like, period, Adam Brody and Kristen Bell. It's just like not your typical rom com, but it's really good. And yeah, let's get into this toxic energy. Let's get into some reality topics. We do have an update, an Osefo update. I said I was going to be tracking what's going on with the Osefos. Guys, like literally my iPad keyboard just died. What I will say about this thing is like you do not have to charge it often. And like I probably charge it like once a month. So I mean, I'm not mad at I don't even think I charge it once a month. Like it's definitely like given like 2 months. Like it doesn't die like that. But I swear I just charged it, but maybe I've been using it more, so maybe that's why. But I swear it lasts for like a good month. Anyway, we have this Osefos update, and then I want to talk about what Giselle and Robin said on the podcast. So Wendy Osefo, it looks as though she wants Eddie to take the fall. I mean, it looks like she doesn't want to be going to prison along with him, and she's basically like, you are out for your own, buddy. I don't know if they're together. Like, are they together? Because the thing is, like, Wendy broke her silence on Instagram with a photo of herself, and Eddie broke his silence with a photo of his family. And I just know his family from back home is like, this is what we were trying to tell you about this woman. Like, we did not want you getting involved with her. When I personally think Eddie was probably the mastermind behind this, because at the end of the day, he's like a freaking lawyer. And I feel like he would be the mastermind behind this. I would be shocked if it was Wendy. But there's this article, US Weekly has been getting all of the exclusives. They've been knowing all of the tea, honestly, and they've been updating it like relentlessly. So also it is being reported that Eddie has a lawyer now, but let me see what this article is saying. This is saying Wendy Osefo is claiming she is a victim of a quote-unquote illegal arrest as she fights her fraud charges in court. US Weekly can exclusively report. The reality star demanded all charges to be dismissed due to the alleged quote-unquote defects in the charging document. In addition, she is quote-unquote suppressed because of an unlawful search or seizure. The Bravo star also asked for all wire and verbal communications to be suppressed because of an unlawful interception. In the filing, Osefo's lawyer claimed his client was illegally arrested. The reality star's counsel said all admissions, statements, or confessions should not be allowed as evidence because, quote unquote, they were unlawfully obtained. The reality star's legal team told US the quote unquote motions were filed by our legal team, are standards motions that are filed in every criminal case in Maryland. The motions are intended to prompt prosecutors to produce evidence pursuant to the Maryland rules. It is routine to file these motions at the outset of every case to preserve evidence and assert our clients' rights, though not every component is applicable to every case. I always say that word wrong. So I'm also hearing she's asking their charges be tried separately. Like, she does not want to be tried along with her husband. But this article was written, I think, probably like Friday. So there's been an update since that because I think Eddie now has a lawyer. But then I want to talk about what Giselle and Robin are saying. Giselle and Robin basically had total opposite reactions to Ashley. I feel like Ashley really reveled in the information and she was like, oh, we saw this coming. This isn't a shock. Well, Giselle and Robin are very shocked. So they talked about this on their Reasonably Shady podcast. They said they were both disappointed and yeah, this is another scandal. So this is what Robin said. She said, I'm highly shocked, surprised, and disappointed by these charges. With Giselle adding, I'm so disappointed. And then Robin continued, of course, you're innocent until proven guilty. But if everything in these chagrin documents is true, I'm truly disappointed. And then I just have so many questions like, why? Giselle says she felt sad because of Wendy and Eddie's children. Even if they come out of this unscathed, it's going to have an impact on their family. With that in mind, Giselle found it hard. This is also from Reality. She found it really hard to believe that they would risk their freedom and reputation over materialistic things. On the other hand, Robin felt like the evidence suggests that they did just that. Well, what else was it for? Robin argued because it was highly intentional, highly planned, not well thought out, but thought out. And then she continued, I saw a clip where she was kind of talking about how well Happy Eddie is doing. So it makes me think, okay, well, was that an exaggeration? Was that not the truth? I don't know. But it's also like, why questions? Why did they think they could get away with this? And yeah, so clearly like they had the opposite reaction than Ashley Darby. Like I said, Ashley Darby is really much reveling in that information. She's like a very like cold, deceptive, manipulative woman. I don't really care about her. But shocking that Giselle and Robin are actually like, this is shocking. Like, why would they do this? And they're not kind of like throwing more, salt in the wound. They're actually like, why would you do this, Wendy? It's hard to believe. But I'm also with Robin on this. It's very difficult. Like, this was clearly thought out. It was not planned out, but it was definitely thought out. And I think they thought they were going to get away with it. They did not. I think the smoking gun, which will be really hard it'll be very hard to prove in the trial. If this does go to trial, I think they're due for court like in 2 weeks, honestly, is the email that he allegedly sent to Wendy. And it's like, you both are in the same household. Why would you send this to the same email within the same IP address? All of this stuff saying, I'm trying to get our policy to max out. Can you think of any other things, i.e. Chanel shoes, anything to max out our policy? I think that's the smoking gun. We're watching Potomac now under literal binoculars because Wendy is looking really good. The clothes are not from Lay Archive from Marlo Hampton. They are bought. We don't know if they're being returned, but were allegedly being reported as stolen when they weren't stolen. So I'm going to be updating this story because it is just a messy story, and I feel like there's a new update every single day. Unfortunately, those Osefos, they're looking like they're going to be going to jail. But I do think Wendy is the type, she's going to make Eddie probably take the fall for this. They're not going to want both of, I mean, we're going to see. We're going to see. But she alone has like 7 felonies she's facing, and he has like 8. She has 6 felonies, I think, 16 criminal charges. He has 18 and like 8 felonies or something. It's going to be hard to get out of this one. And now she's trying to get all this stuff thrown out. It is giving, Eddie, you have to do this on your own. I will hold it down. That is what it's giving. They were saying when they reported the alleged crime, the break-in, that they used the song Bonnie and Clyde from Beyonce and Jay-Z. That is what Wendy used on her Instagram. So I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm very interested in this story, and like I said, I will be continuing to update it for some other reality topics. Married to Medicine dropped a trailer. I feel like what we don't say about Married to Medicine is how boring it is. Like, yes, it has been on a successful run, but I even feel like at this point, like, it's ran its course. And so I just thought the trailer was very lukewarm. I couldn't even remember what happened in it. But I'll tell you what even made it more lukewarm is the fact that Dr. Heavenly was not that much in it. So we're learning that she was actually demoted to a friend because she is running for Georgia's mayor. I think she's running for mayor. And she went on Giselle Bryan's podcast and kind of spilled the beans that, you know, she believes like God will find a way, and it's just crazy that she was like kind of led to run at this time because she let it slip up essentially that Married to Medicine only really has like a season or 2 left, and then they had to really cut her off. Like, she's like, oh, am I saying too much? But I believe it. Unless this new direction, I say you really got to get rid of Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone, especially Dr. Jackie. And I don't want to sound ageist, but she's aging out of the cast. It's like you was bringing in these new hot wives, these new young hot doctors. At a certain point, I don't think Dr. Jackie needs to be on there all the time. Dr. Jackie is aging out of it, and I think Dr. Simone's shenanigans are. And now you don't have Dr. Heavenly on there, who's like a staple. She's a friend of. I don't have high hopes for the season. But my thing is with Married to Medicine, I never have high hopes. I watch it as background. It's kind of like my below deck. Like, I'm so glad it has this many successful seasons and stuff, but I don't really stay up to it because it gets so boring. Like, it always starts good for me, and then kind of around like the 5th or 6th episode, I'll be over it. And then I'm like, all right, I guess I'll catch up for the reunion. And sometimes I don't even do that. Sometimes I just tune in for the reunion. But Married to Medicine has been pretty stale to me for a while. But like I said, I'm just so glad there's a Black show on Bravo that is this successful for this long. So it's like, that's that. But I don't know. I really do be over it because I'll just be like, they talk about the same stuff. Like, they literally talk about the same stuff. So I don't really, I saw the trailer. It was that. I don't really know. I just don't know how long they have. I'm always shocked when they get renewed. But it's kind of like Shahs of Sunset. Like, Shahs of Sunset was on for 10 seasons. I just don't think, unless you are a housewives, I don't think reality shows are supposed to last forever. Jersey Shore ended, you know, The Hills ended, Laguna Beach, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't think reality shows are supposed to last forever. There's supposed to be moments and times. I think what saves Housewives is because Housewives is so transcending and it's so transformative, and it really changes. Like, I feel like but you can also have the same one housewife. Like, I feel like Salt Lake City works so well, you know, Beverly Hills works so well. The numbers are there because you have things at their core. But I feel like with reality TV, and that's what happened with Vanderpump, is like the show started with a bunch of struggling waiters and waitresses trying to come up in LA, We on the fifth, sixth season. You done already came up. You're not living in that crappy apartment. You're pretending to, and then you guys are actually like showing up like in designer stuff. Like you kind of lose the premise of the shows for these reality shows. And I feel like with Married to Medicine, they've been so lucky that they've been able to keep the premise of the show, but it do get kind of boring. It do get kind of boring, and I think they would benefit from definitely shaking up the cast. I always said Dr. Jackie, respect to how much she's done, but does she need to be full time? No. She's just not interesting enough. And I always thought Dr. Simone was so annoying. Her mouth is so annoying. She does too much. I think she could be really like, she could really move on in life as well. And yeah, I always said that. I think the only person from like the first couple of seasons, and the first season that I could really see like anchoring the show is Toya. Even though she's a mess, like I don't know, I just feel like it's all, I don't know. I think Toya's kind of like the only one. Toya and Quad, obviously, but doctors wise, I would have said Dr. Heavenly. And now it's like you took the fun doctor, the one that really gets stuff started out, and now we just have someone that be on mute, and then it's someone else to just start with anyone, rah rah, which people would argue Heavenly does that. But I don't know. I feel like with Dr. Simone, I just find her really annoying. So that's my tea on that. What else are we talking about today? Oh, so there was this, I mean, there was this leak. I don't want leaks about what's happening during filming. So the neighborhood watch, I think, is reporting that Riley and Georgia from Next Gen NYC got into a scuffle while filming, and apparently Riley like threw a glass at Georgia. Now Riley, you can't be doing this on Bravo. You're really gonna get alienated. You're already the only Black woman. I'm waiting to see what happens, but when Riley get a little lit, she do, I just hope she not doing the most. Like, we can't be throwing stuff. Then you really gonna have a reason to be crying the only Black woman, because they already tried to alienate you, and I always thought they need to put someone else Black on there or bring on your Black friend so you're not so alienated. But now you was throwing glasses at the white girl, the most fragile looking one at that. You're not even throwing it at a Gia Judice, one that looked like she could take it. You got to be wary, girl. You have to be wary, especially if you want to call back. Let's talk about Love is Blind. So, this was history. Nobody got married. Thank the Lord. Did Allie let her friends influence her opinion of Anton? I think so, but also her friends are freshly divorced and they were probably forewarning her. I think it was interesting to see her defend Anton to her mom, because she did defend him. Her mom was like, it does scare me how much he drinks. So even the mom knows that he drinks a lot. And Allie was like, I feel like he deserves it. Also, their schedules are very conflicting. You know what? Maybe I was a little hard on him. Maybe I was a little hard on him about his drinking, but I did see some red flags and just things I wouldn't want to put up with. I also think it's crazy that his friend's girl pulled Allie to the side in the bathroom to say they have a partying lifestyle. So I think you should always believe what the other girl is saying, especially when it's like the other girl of your friend's best mate. Like, if this is your best mate, so UK terms, and the girlfriend's coming to you woman to woman, I would listen to that. That reminds me of a situation that happened with my friend, like someone she was possibly going to be seeing. And even before getting started with this man, these two girls that knew him like pulled my friend to the side and literally was like, don't get involved with this man. And this man has proven as to reasons not to get involved. But I do think you should always believe those other people that know this person. Now, sometimes they want that person, but sometimes they be on to something. They be like, you know what? I'm about to save you the headache. And I think they were trying to I think the one girl was trying to save Allie the headache. I think her friends were. I think her mom was. And I think she was smart to say no. You can tell she really cared about Anton. So I'm curious to see if they tried dating after, because it's giving like she tried. But I also will say about Allie, I think she is looking for someone with a little more money. It started this whole like social media thing, like, do truck drivers have money? Which I hear they make a good amount of money, but is it enough money to support you in your Botox habits and your filler? Probably not. Like, but my thing is like, I don't understand why Allie's getting her master's if she's not planning on using it. So it's like, aren't you planning on getting your master's so you can use it? And she's saying she isn't sure if she's going to be doing that. So I don't know. I thought that was a little interesting. Very sad. I think I was most sad for Edmund, but I think KB made the smartest decision because that would have been a chaotic relationship and she literally would have been raising a man. I just feel like he is not like at all ready for marriage. He has a lot of unhealed trauma. Also, KB and her mom sound exactly alike. Like, it was actually tripping me out. But Edmund is just not ready for a relationship. He's not ready for a relationship at all. And it just would have been a bad situation. I think that he needs therapy. He needs therapy. His mom did not show up to his wedding. His teacher had to show up, and it's just really sad. It's really sad. And I could just tell he wanted her to say yes so bad. And I think KB wanted to say yes, but I think she knew like it wasn't even right. Like, his mom's not even there. I thought the mom's vibe was weird. Like, she was on this whole high horse, like, I raised him right and stuff. But it's like, he's been in and out of foster care his whole life. You did not raise him. So I just think Edmund needs to learn to love himself, but you're not going to learn to love yourself unless you do the work. And unfortunately, he's doesn't have family or support. I always like hit my head with this. He doesn't have the family or support to even get that help, so it really does suck. But it would not have been good if they said yes, if KB said yes. That relationship would not have been good. I'm also glad that Sparkle Megan and Jordan did not make it to the altar at all. I'm glad she didn't even want to do that. Unfortunately, Jordan's like his biggest regret is even having his son introduce him to Sparkle Megan. But my thing is with Megan, I think her friends also had a valid point. Like, are you just falling in love with the kid in the story? Because, like I said, the only thing she could have, the substantialness of it, was literally to validate the relationship, this connection with your dad and this connection with this boy that you just met. And I'm just like, it would be a lot. I don't think it's a lot to take on being a stepmom, let alone a stepmom with this son that does have these diabetic issues. And she just has to be honest with herself. And also, the vibes were not there. And I don't think she should have to apologize for living her life a certain way. And I think that's why Love is Blind works. And then sometimes it don't work. I don't think this show works, though. I really don't. But I think you can say love is blind, but when you get to know people, you know, love also can be unblinded. I mean, just as much as it's blind, it can be unblinded. And I feel like that's the mask starts to slip when you start to get to know these people. So it's like, yes, I guess you could say it's true for everyone that fell in love with the positive love is blind, but it's very short lived once you start to really get to know someone. It's very rare. And I just will never say love is blind because at the end of the day, yeah, I fell in love with this person, but you can fall in love with anyone with both of your eyes and you be having those rose tinted glasses on. Like, you could fall in love with anybody fully aware, and it could be something totally unexpected, or you can fall in love with someone you don't know and then it's still unexpected. Like, I just feel like the show, I mean, they're gonna keep doing it because these people are trying, but there's just so much more. You got social status, you have, you know, kids, you have race. There's a lot of stuff that plays a big factor. Speaking of Love is Blind, Lauren and Cameron, they did welcome their baby boy. So you would say that's a successful story. You say Brett and Tiffany are, but I still argue love is not blind because it's like, I fell in love with you blindly, but I continue to love you once I saw you for who you are. So I'm like, I don't know, but I just feel like he shouldn't regret introducing his kid to his possible wife. It was an experiment and you knew that's what you were getting into. So don't try to place that on her. And I feel like she would have had to really live below her means. And it's like, if you can live above it, you can live and do what you want to do and you don't want to be judged for that. I feel like he would have been judging her. It's like, you gonna have to be a home mom. It's like, do you want to be a home mom or do you want to be an Ibiza on a Wednesday? I want to be in Ibiza on a Wednesday. That's the real shade. I mean, that's no shade. That's the real tea. It's like, if I have the opportunity to be in Ibiza on a Wednesday, golfing on a Thursday, I don't even like golfing. You know what I mean? But I'm like, if that's the lifestyle I'm living, and I pick someone that's has a totally different lifestyle, are you selfless enough to give that up? And it's like, it's okay if you're not. And it's like, also, he had a freaking vasectomy. So it's like, yeah, he could get it reversed. But I don't think people realize it's like, that's a lot. I mean, the success rate, even after that. So it's like, it's a lot. Can you love a kid that's not your own? Because I know a lot of men can't. A lot of men cannot. But I don't think you should feel shame and guilt. I think out of all of the couples, I would have thought KB, not my work thing going off. They don't know I'm off the clock. The amount of distractions this episode has had, like, I'm just like, I'm literally recording. I just hear my work laptop going off. I'm like, I'm not even on the clock. I've been off the clock for over an hour now. But anyway, I had to silence my computer. I always forget to like shut it down. I need to like honestly shut it down. But yeah, I just don't think she should feel any type of way. But like I was saying, like, out of all of the couples, I probably would have thought Megan and Jordan would have tried to give it a go. But even she was saying like his energy changed after the pods. Like, it wasn't giving what it was giving in the pods. And I said that. I was like, he was super. I thought it was weird on vacation. I thought his energy with the other guy was weird. I was like, are you guys sleeping together? Like, I don't know. It was very weird. Like, it was like he wasn't trying to talk to Megan. It was very immature. I also am a big teeth person. I just felt like him flossing and stuff is good, but it's like your teeth is yellow AF. And it's like, maybe you should invest in some whitening strips. Maybe Sparkle Megan can hook you up with some Sparkle Listerine, some Sparkle mouthwash, because his teeth was yellow AF. And then also eating frozen chicken in a smoothie. There's just things that would give me the ick. I'm gonna circle this back to like my Nobody Wants This podcast. I guess Nobody Wants This. Also love the name because it's like so much more. But also I love the fact how they had an episode dedicated to ick in the first season. It's like, once you first get the ick, it's hard to come back from the ick. So the fact that Noah was able to come back from the ick with Joanne was so hilarious to me, because I knew when she got the ick as well. And it's like, once you get the ick, especially women, it's really hard to come back from. So I don't see how Sparkle Megan did not get the egg when he was trying to literally blend up some frozen chicken and make a chicken smoothie. Disgusting. I wouldn't even want to kiss him after that. Like, that is disgusting. And then also, like I said, I'm a very big teeth person. And no, you don't need to have veneers, because I just feel like veneers also look fake AF. But your teeth they should not be yellow. um they shouldn't even be yellow. If I don't even brush my teeth for a day, they're not yellow. I would never do that. But I'm just saying, like, they should never be yellow. That just means you was not. Jordan's teeth is yellow, and Edmund's lips were chapped and dry. So yeah, there's just, I don't think love is blind. Love is not blind. It is not. I want to move to Potomac. I'm not talking about Salt Lake City. If you want to tune into my Salt Lake City recaps, I do them. I actually do them. I do them every Tuesday on TikTok. So make sure you guys tune into my TikTok. Make sure you follow me on TikTok, because I talk a lot more about the topics throughout the week. Because like I said, I record on Mondays. So I try to really catch things throughout the week. But I like to focus, now that Miami's off, it was just too much recapping. I want to focus on Potomac right now. If Salt Lake has a killer episode, which every episode is a killer. So that's why I'm like, it's just so hard for me to like wait to record for that. Like, unless I do, right? Maybe I should write my notes down for that again. But I'd rather just talk about it on TikTok. So if you really want to hear my thoughts about Salt Lake City, tune into TikTok, because that's when I do my recaps. Like I said, I'm considering going live now with my Potomac recaps, especially during the podcast stage, because I really am interested in. Okay, that's weird. I'm really interested in Potomac right now, and I really want to focus on that. So yeah, I'm thinking of going TikTok live during a recording and like seeing what the people are saying. And yeah, I want more listeners, of course. Like, I really do. I'm nervous. Should I go on TikTok live? I think I'm gonna try it before recording, before the mic. Just talking about Potomac. And then if I get enough like traction when I record on Mondays, I'm gonna go on TikTok live and get what the people are saying about Potomac. I want to see what people are saying because I love new perspectives. But yes, tune into my TikTok if you want to hear about what I think about this recent episode of Salt Lake City, Brittany and her daughter's conversation. That was something. And then we had the whole Bronwyn stuff coming out, and now everyone's trying to put that on Lisa, which I thought was interesting. Kind of seeing cracks in Angie and Mary's relationship. Thought that was interesting. The farts of it all. But I really want to get into Potomac. I'm rating this episode, maybe because I just was in the mood and I was exhausted. I kind of gave it like a 5 out of 10 because I don't know if it's because I know Giselle's an AKA and I know Wendy is, and now we know Jassi is, because something about them being in a sorority, every time I see their interactions, it just gives me super hazy vibes. And I don't know, it's like initiation trials, like rituals. And I'm just seeing this very disgusting behavior towards the new people. And I don't know, like I understand where Angel's coming from, but then I'm also like, y'all are doing like a lot, especially with the Stacy stuff. And I feel like they're very jealous of Stacy. And I hate a bitch that is constantly trying to humble you. I watched Jocelyn's Cabaret, and I'm so over them trying to humble Kanaya. If you guys do not watch Jocelyn's Cabaret, I mean, it is up to you, but I'm so over women trying to humble other women on these shows because you were threatened. And it just reminds me of something back in university when I went to school. And so maybe that's why I'm so team Stacy now, because all I see is this woman not breaking sweat and these women being threatened by her because she's not breaking a sweat. And I just think it's very interesting how they're constantly trying to humble her, but still she rises. So let's get into this. They are going to Nibri, something off the coast of New Orleans, Louisiana. It's an island to an island. I don't even know if I got that right. But first we're picking up off of Preakness, which I keep thinking is Freaknik, which it is not. These are horses, not the Meg the Stallion type. These are actual horse racing. The First Lady of Maryland invited Wendy, though she did not want to be seen on camera. Can't blame her. And we're picking up from the bus ride, and I will say Kay's energy towards Stacy, it is giving you are a pledge and you are doing what your masters are telling you to do. This whole icing out the Stacy is disgusting to watch. Kay, I don't like to use this term referring to Black women, but I don't know what other term you could use to describe Kay's energy right now besides aggressive AF. She's very aggressive towards Stacy, and it's very weird, very hostile, very like, girl, is you gonna get violent? Like, that's what it's giving. Stacy's combing her hair. She's like, Stacy, don't touch me. And just very nasty. I'm not liking this side of Kay. Kay is very lost, and I'm also sensing a lot of the stuff she does is very performative. I feel like she does things for the girls. And when I say that, it's like she could be having a conversation with you. She's not even looking at you in the eye. She's looking at the group while she's talking. You're talking here, she's looking at the group and she's trying to get the people's approval, and then she's turning back to you to finish her conversation, but she's like trying to shade you and looking around to make sure her shade is going over well. And it's kind of very weird to watch in live time because it's like you're not even looking at Stacy, you're not looking at Jassi, you're looking at the group of women, you're looking at Wendy, you're looking at Giselle, you're looking at Ashley, you're looking at your friend Angel to make sure your shade is landing and that it makes sense to the person. So it's super performative. She's also always looking for a camera. It's like, why you're arguing with people, but you're not looking at them in the eye. You're like looking at the group for validation of what you're saying. I see right through Kay. I liked her last episode because I was like, oh dang, she did be chin checking the folks. I mean, she's still chin checking, but I'm not liking her this episode. In my opinion, probably will change again. Maybe I'm like, all right, maybe I like Kay again next episode. I don't care. It's my opinion. Kay is just giving stain. Like maybe her breath is the one that smells. Maybe it's the upper lip. I don't know. Tia, I like Tia. I like Tia. I wasn't sure about her at first because I was like, this is Giselle's friend, but she's even holding Giselle accountable, and you could tell she's kind of like even shading Giselle, and she's not scared about it. And I think that's what Angel's issue is with this group, is that she came in as Kay's friend, and clearly Kay has made it known, this is my friend. Whereas Giselle was like, I know this girl. Tia's really cool. I don't even know if she said that was her friend. But so Tia's coming in very independent, very like, okay. And she's not doing too much. She's not promising too much. She's like, this is me. Love her family. Love that her son wanted to get adopted while she was away. However, he could not. But it's just so relatable. She's just fun. But Ashley being messy, Ashley has nothing else to do, besides flirt with men at Preakness. I mean, I'd be doing the same thing. I actually like Ashley when she does that because I'm like, period, as you should. Like, as you should. But they have a seat, they sit down, and they're eating. And basically, Ashley says that it got back to her that Tia has said that she was rude. And Tia said it was just tongue in cheek. And if you don't watch freaking Bridgerton, if you don't, not even Bridgerton, if you don't watch Love Island UK, Love is Blind UK, you know what tongue in cheek is. Tongue in cheek is you're just joking. It's for fun. It's like, it's not even shady. It's tongue in cheek. It's like, it's whatever. It's joking. Ashley acted like she didn't realize what that was saying, when I know she definitely watched Love Island. She definitely watches Love Island. You know what tongue in cheek means. Tongue in cheek is playful. She was offended by that. She was not offended by that. Producers told her to be offended by that. She was not offended by it. She was offended by it. And now she's saying that Tia is basically mean and like calling her out and being shady towards her. And Tia's like, you need to just drop it because it's not that big of a deal. If you want to die on that battle, you're going to die alone. She said, I was not coming for you. But it is, when you do have, the proper, I can't even think of the words, proper manners, you're calling Giselle to invite her and Wendy over. There was a group of people there. I mean, it is kind of rude to say I wanted to invite you and Wendy over. Like, when it's like a group of us standing, like it wasn't like the invite was extended. I mean, you couldn't have just like texted one of them, but like, hey, you and Wendy come over. Because why are you guys meeting? Because you're meeting to discuss the storylines. That's why. But Tia just said, oh, that's a little rude. But it wasn't anything. It's not like I have this animosity towards you now. It's just like, okay, it was a little rude. It was tongue in cheek. I love a good tongue in cheek. But I think I would get along really well with the Brits. First of all, like when I started creating beauty content on TikTok, everyone was convinced I was from the UK because of the way I did my makeup. And they said they just figured I was from the UK, which is crazy because I feel like I don't even think you should even put me up there with UK makeup because there's a whole group of baddies I can't even compete with. Like the makeup's amazing. So I was shocked to find out that people actually thought I was from the UK. I was actually very honored. But I think I would get along well with the UKs. I think I would get along with the Brits. I understand the humor. I love a good LVP, snarky, snobby joke. I think I would actually thrive there. Maybe I'll be there. But I think I would get along well with Tia. So it's like when she said tongue in cheek, and like I understand her humor. Like it's fun, but it's not shady. But I guess it could be fun shade, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. So it's like, Ashley, whatever. I'm here for Jassi entering and some of the ladies not liking it. Specifically Kay. Cannot keep up with Kay. Every time I see Kay, she has a sourpuss face on. Her and Angel. Angel also, I feel like people said that who did they say that talked nasally? I'm trying to remember who talks nasally. Britt Edie from Real Housewives of Atlanta. I feel like Angel from Potomac talks very nasally. Do you guys get that? Like, I'm getting nasally vibes from her. It's actually pissing me off. I don't know, her voice is kind of annoying to me. I don't know. Jassi enters and she shakes the table. That's what I said in my K Michelle reference, because the girls were clearly shook when she came. I think she looked good. I always said it. Rewind the podcast tapes. I said that Jassi was the one that should have had the flute. I was actually devastated when I found out she wasn't even going to be filming this season, but it looks like they had to call her in because, first of all, Karen wasn't going to be filming, and I guess they were not really happy with the performance of the show like as it was, which honestly I'm shocked because the first couple episodes were good, but Jassi was kind of what was needed to kind of take it up a notch. So they did call her last minute to film. And I think also when it was like confirmed Mia's definitely not coming back, they were like, let's get Jassi in there. And I think also they wanted an ally for Stacey because they weren't sure how Wendy was going to be with Stacey. And it looks like Stacey and Wendy are now forming that bond, which I do appreciate, like Wendy not dogpiling on her. But they called Jassi, from my understanding, when they realized production and Andy love Stacey. When they were like, she needs an ally. And then her ally is Jassi. We know Jassi. Okay, let's film with Jassi. And then they were liking Jassi. They kept inviting her around. They're like, oh my gosh, you're getting married? All this stuff. Like, they actually started enjoying her a lot. So Jassi comes. She's shaking the table because I guess her and Kay have some drama. But I will say, before we even know that Wendy inserted herself, that Kay was looking at her a little weird, but we know that now because Kay said Wendy said that. And Wendy totally started that because from what I received is that Jassi and her had a conversation and Jassi was like, oh yeah, I don't know about Stacey. She says she don't know about Kay, yada yada yada. But it was nothing like that I would have taken as shady, but I'm assuming Wendy ran that back to Kay as shady. When Jassi's like, I didn't even know I had a problem with her. So but Wendy got out of that because the first lady of Maryland was coming over and she had to slide her shoe back on and pretend like she didn't just try to do a whole storyline. Very messy, did catch that. And like I said, Kay gets super loud and aggressive. She goes from 0 to 100, which sucks because she's a gorgeous woman to look at, but she can't really control her anger for the life of her. She's kind of crazy. And I like them a little crazy, but she's a little crazy. Very performative, starts yelling at Jassi, talking about, but Jassi gagged her because she said, I know you're in a bad place with Greg right now. Totally gagged the girls, including me. And then Kay was like, well, you're a whole baby mama. Like, wouldn't even want your relationship, or like you're with this man that had 2 different babies on you. And this is what I say, guys, rewatch Real Housewives of Potomac. When Kay says this, she doesn't even say it to Jassi. She says it in front of the group looking for validation. She's like, well, you're like, it's scripted. Like, it's like a robot. Like, it's like something she's reading and she's not even looking at the person she's saying it to. She's saying it to the other women. It's very weird to me. But she said something about, I wouldn't even want your relationship. Like, this man had 2 kids on you, but she's not even talking to Jassi. She talking to the girls because she just got gagged by the Greg comment. So now she's looking for the girls for validation. It's very weird how she delivers. That's why I said it's so performative. She's like looking around to deliver what she's trying to say instead of at the person. And if there's one thing I don't like, is someone that can't make eye contact. I think it's really weird. I think it's kind of like you have some stuff going on. Like, they also associate people that cannot make eye contact with not inferior. I would never say you're inferior, but you are weak. You're insecure. You know, that is a study. I'm not saying that. That is an article I read on the Google. That is a thing. If you cannot make eye contact, especially just a regular conversation, if you cannot make like eye contact with people, there's something psychological behind it. It's something you feel insecure within yourself. And it doesn't have to be a confrontation. Just they even say, when you women, especially, even men, I guess, if you walk with your head down. I never walk with my head down. I may not make eye contact with people when I walk with my head up, but I never walk with my head down. And that's just something I've always been told. Also, like, if you walk with your head down, it's just bad for your posture. Like, you're supposed to walk with your head up. Like, people that walk with their head down are also insecure. So I don't know. Kay is giving me, I don't think she's insecure. I just think she does stuff for the clout and for the performance and for the likeliness and the validation of other people. Um And then Jassi came for Greg again and saying, I would be mad too if all I got out of that relationship was a little condo and he not even paying for it. And that's the real tea. It's like, why did you move out of you guys' house, Kay, into a condo? He not even paying for the condo, but he be at the condo. And then y'all still got the house and he still got his condo? I don't know. Maybe Kay is upset about that. So Angel meets Jassi, and I don't think this was a shady moment. I think Wendy's doing a lot. Apparently Wendy said it was messy that and shady that Angel was saying her man was a 10 season starter. And I don't think she was being messy. Jassi was like, oh yeah, but like we're 7 years into it. I don't even think Jassi received it as shady. Also, Jassi's confessional was amazing. Gorgeous woman. Love her. She's fun. We need fun in Potomac. I mean, it's been fun, but it's like she was fun. But Wendy picked that up and kept that in her back pocket. She's like, I'm gonna use that later. Because when doesn't she? I don't know. I think Wendy's coming off very thirsty this episode, if I do say so myself. I'm also having a hard time connecting with her since these charges, but I digress on that. But I will say, like, the whole laughing with the whole tea thing on Angel saying she didn't even graduate from Temple. It's like, okay, she didn't even graduate from Temple. Whatever. You graduated, you have 4 degrees, and now you're facing fraud charges. What are we comparing? In hindsight, you were living above your means. In hindsight, you were doing fraudulent activity. What are we comparing? A woman that's graduated university at Temple University, or are we comparing a woman that's graduated from Temple University and got 4 degrees later on in life and still now is facing fraudulent activity charges? I'd rather not have graduated, right? I mean, what was the deal? I just feel like you can't be a snob about that stuff. Like, I don't know. I just don't like that. Like, that's the type of stuff I don't like. When it's like, Wendy, you was sending high almighty, and you might be sending high almighty from a prison cell because you graduated. Whatever. So I didn't like how she delivered that to Giselle. She's like, do with that what you will, because she loves being Giselle's friend. But her and Giselle, now, did Giselle reach out to her? I didn't read that in my article I was reading to you guys about what she was thinking about all these charges. I don't think she's talked to her. They are show friends. Production had to sit down with them around season 8, last season, ahead of last season, and like, look, Candace and Robin is off here. Y'all need to make this work. It's getting a little toxic for the viewers. We're getting colorist accusations, which I still think. We are not liking the direction it's going in. We want you guys to stay on the show. Robin was fired. Candace was not. Candace decided to take a step back. And you guys better figure it out, or one of you guys are next. That is exactly what happened. And then we also get this whole Angel edited pictures thing. The picture did not look like her. So much. I remember when rumors of this cast coming out, these are the 2 women that have been filming for Potomac. When I saw the photo of Angel, I was like, she's gorgeous. You know, who is this girl? We get a trailer. I don't recall it being that girl. And I think Angel's a pretty woman, but clearly the pictures are outdated. And that's like the biggest pet peeve of mine. I'm actually about to get new headshots for LinkedIn because I'm like, I don't look like that 22-year-old anymore. I look like a woman now. I look like a lady. I think I look like a lady then. I'm a woman now. I have a woman face. I do my makeup differently. And, you know, I want to wear my extensions. I don't want a professional headshot. I want a glam headshot. I want a headshot that shows like, hey, I'm here to stay in this career I'm in, media, you know what I mean? Which really what it is, media and beauty. And I want a headshot to reflect that. My headshot reflects corporate. My headshot reflects, you know, I needed to get a headshot once I graduated. Like, you know what I mean? I needed good pictures and they look beautiful, but I really want some good airbrushed pictures that show me and show my personality more. And I don't want to wear a blazer, even though I'm a blazer queen. I might wear a blazer, but I don't need like the blouse under. Like, I want something updated. Angel's pictures look different, but what I will say, Giselle's the last one to lie, because she be editing her pictures too. Wendy edits her picture a lot, and I will say Angel's read did give in the confessional, but it would have even given in person. And I understand people are like, well, why did she got this energy for Wendy? But it's like, Wendy, you even said it yourself, you've been on the receiving end of Giselle's darkness. That's literally what she called it. And now it's like, because it's not you, you're not going to take a stand. And I don't like that, because you know how it feels for Giselle to be super vindictive and very mean to someone. And so it's like, you're not taking a stand because you're so happy to be up Giselle's butt. And I hate this for Wendy, because I'm like, this girl don't even like you. She really don't. But you're so thirsty to be her friend. So you are fine with making someone else feel small, even though you felt so small a couple seasons ago. I don't like that, what Wendy's doing. So I do think Angel's shade towards her was given. I do think Angel has different shade, and I do think she has different energy depending on the person. She don't give Giselle any of this energy. She do give a lot of her energy to Wendy, and it makes me think it's because her and Kay are besties. And that's what you can't do when you are coming into the group. You cannot have these preconceived notions of this person just because your friend that's bringing you into the group doesn't like this person. And I'm a very loyal person. I'm a Leo, and I'll be loyal to you, but let me form my own opinion. I mean, I can think something, but I'm going to form my own opinion. And then also, Angel doesn't know this is how reality TV works. So it's like, we're already going to start pointing stuff out. I mean, you are a lighter skinned woman, and now you have all this energy for Wendy, who is deeper skin tone, but Giselle is the one that's really started majority of the drama with your best friend. So it's like, keep that same energy. So I do agree with Wendy with that. Um, but yeah, I think Wendy's also catching on. She even told her, it's been peeped, your energy towards me versus your energy towards Giselle. And I think it was important to note. Like I said, those pictures do not look like her. When I did see her filming with the cast, and like the photos they used for like her and Tia, versus when I saw the trailer, I was like, that doesn't look like the person I saw. So I actually agree with that. We're losing the sun, so I need to wrap this up. Is Giselle a mean girl? Yes, but what else is new? Um, the ladies continue to try to haze Stacy, but it's not working with Stacy, maybe because she's from Detroit. You know, she's worked at QVC. She's been the only Black woman in multiple rooms, so I don't think it really phases her, and that she's just going to continue to rise to, superiority in the group, because the audience loves her. And I said, mark my words on Twitter. I said they will be switching their tune with her next season. They're gonna all love Stacy. They're all gonna love Stacy. I'm gonna be shocked if Ashley's not back though, because she's really floating in the background. And I guess like the last big thing that really happened is honestly Stacy clocking that Giselle has a man and kind of silencing her. But Giselle did this like super mean girl thing. She didn't get her robe embroidered. She didn't get her makeup pouch embroidered. And I just feel like you went the extra distance, in the words of Lisa Barlow, to not do things for me when you could have. So it's like, that just shows me that I'm on your mind. Like, how bad it wouldn't have hurt for you to just get a Stacy robe, a Stacy makeup thing, and then write a card out for me and said like, thanks for joining us. But it's like, you go the extra effort into not doing something, which just proves I'm on your mind. And that I am fine with sitting with. And that's why I'm liking Stacey, and I think she'll be a better liar, a better charmer than Mia Thornton could ever be. But that was really Potomac. Hey, I'm here for it. I'm always here for it. But I gave this episode like a 5 out of 10, but then I had to remember Jassi was here, and that was my girl. So I gave it a 7 out of 10 because she's genuinely my girl. But that was really the episode. I'm excited for next week. I hope you guys were enjoying the What's the Reality on Monique and Candace Dillard and their old drama. I don't know what next topic I'm going to do. I might start one next week. We're definitely off this week. Happy Halloween to all that celebrate. I hope you guys get creative with your looks. Do a nice little makeup glam. I love a reason to eat for no reason. And I mean makeup wise, but literally happy Halloween, and I will see you guys next time. Until the next time, bye.